What's up, world? How y'all doing? It's Don here, and just chilling and chilling and chilling, and more chilling. Getting ready for the Super Bowl, but first want to start off my podcast by saying hello to everybody and give you an understanding of what this channel is gonna be talking about. Got a lot of good things in store. The studio's still being built. It's part of it, so I can do a partial right now, but I'm still building my studio. Things gonna get better and better. I got more people coming along with me too. Um, I wanted to talk about this Jay Prince thing for a second, because we do media over here also, and it's a lot of things that been going on, and I think sometimes we have the older guard. They kind of like, I don't know what to say about it. Like, for one minute they be alright, and the next minute they ain't showing their age. I think right now a boy Offset getting the raw ear end of the stick on all the way around. Hopefully him and Quavo, which I'm thinking that should be the first thing that matter, him and Quavo reconciliation or whatever need to go on. But also with Jay Prince, like, man, what are you thinking and what are you doing right now? You're talking about an open case. You got it everywhere. Now more of your skeletons coming out the closet, along with what happened with your daughter, and I think you just need to just chill out and let life take its course. Sometimes we think that we can insert ourselves in certain situations to where we're gonna make things happen our way. And this is the world. It just don't go like that all the time. Like, to be real with you, it just one of those things you just gotta sit back and see what color the wall gonna fly. You know, you talking about people snitching, but you snitching too. So it ain't what's the difference? You just doing yours not in front of the police, but the police watching. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? I believe that his sons that got him in something that he really shouldn't even be a part of right now. Man of his age, which we already know he been enjoying his life for well over 3 decades now. So, 3 or 4 decades easily. So, you know what I'm saying? I think he need to step back into the abyss like he been and, pulling your strings from behind the scenes, because right now, what y'all got going on, it's gonna affect the artists, and once it start affecting the artists, that's gonna put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And needless to say, Atlanta, Georgia, where everybody got to still come, and we don't want that down here in our streets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really don't. Like, all that drama, and then that's the mess up thing for music in Georgia, is that a lot of them outside beefs they start spilling on into Georgia. You know what I'm talking about? Which this wouldn't be classified as outside beef, because Takeoff, R.I.P. Takeoff, he was a Georgian, so you know what I'm saying. It hits a little different, but we still mourning Takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Because lyrically he was a genius. And sadly to say that his light got dimmed down before he could shine as bright as he was about to shine. Because he was about to do his own solo. His first solo did great. To me, I love the album, but I think now he was gonna actually come into what he really is, what he has always been. Because you don't find too many key players that's cool with just taking the backfield. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm gonna play it like this. I ain't gonna be all everywhere in front of everybody like that. I'm gonna play like I ain't the most valuable player when I really am. So I think who playing it the best right now is Jazz Prince. That's what the daddy need to be taking notes from Jazz. Cause ain't nobody heard from Jazz. Ain't nobody said nothing to Jazz, or Jazz is playing it how it's supposed to go. Quiet. I ain't doing no interviews. I ain't doing no nothing. I really don't even want to talk about it. That's how they're supposed to be played. So, sometimes us being the key players, sometimes we need to look on the bench and see what the other players doing to see if we can take some of that humility and also apply it to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen Jazz Prince on nobody's show, or haven't seen him online speaking on what happened that day or nothing. All the people I see is Junior and Senior. And really right now, the more that they talk, the more that they hurt their own brand. Like, they making the brand look real weak. You know what I'm saying? And that, me being a Southerner, I always looked at on Rap a lot as one of the pillars of the South. Like, can't be touched, can't be messed with. But it's like this. Once you send out so many courtesy calls and nothing happened, or once you send out so many threats and nothing ever happened, then it comes a point to where people be like, is you really about what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Then people, they gonna start seeing for themselves like, okay, well, Buddy say this right here supposed to happen, but we ain't got no evidence of this happening. So is this really real what he's saying? You know what I'm saying? You get to that point, like, can he really stand on business the way that he's standing on business? Because right now, look like he's doing a whole bunch of talking. And the more he talking, I was looking online today and I seen so many people um talking reckless. Like, I have never heard some of the things, some of the sentences I have heard uttered with Jay Prince's name in it in my life. Like, I remember back if you was talking about in the 90s, or if you was talking about in, hell, I would even say the early 2000s. Some of the stuff they said about Jay Prince, do you understand that this man don't go for that? Yeah, you be some people on your front door about that. But now it's more like, hey, everybody say whatever the hell they want to say. And ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But to the next thing, that list. Let's talk about that Billboard list. That Billboard list, you have some good names on there, but I don't know who be putting these people in place far as the ordering. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes this order that people, and you see, and it's sad to say, but it's a true thing to say, on every last one of these lists, it's always a New York bias. So it's like New York haven't ran the game for over 20 years, period. They have not ran the game for over 20 years. Why is there still a New York bias when it comes to rap and hip hop? I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when New York had it, they were very biased. They say, excuse me, they put whoever they want to put in place, in power. You know what I'm saying? Whoever that they felt the need to say was number one, they put them in number one. You know what I'm saying? And the whole rest of the country had to go with that. West Coast broke that hole with the NWA. Okay, well, it ain't so much about what y'all say. It's about what we doing, because we the ones selling the album. Then once it got to the South, we grabbed it and we ain't let it go since. So, you know what I'm saying? With the bias that we got coming through the music right now, it's like every time a list get put out, it's just a bias. It's bias. There's no other way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the last 20, almost 30 years now, the South has been running music. Any way you look at it. No matter how you tie it up, dribble it, flip it. I wouldn't say 30. I'd say 25. Let's give it that. But since Andre 3000 came out and said South have something to say, it's been a problem. And right now, I tip my hats out to Memphis, because Memphis got it right now. And I don't see it going northern until they get their sound back, which my biggest problem with northern artists is that they don't reach back and go for those jewels that they already have. You know what I'm saying? They really follow our path. They follow the ways of what the South doing, and they like the independence that the South has. So now they modeled themselves on how we do things, but they still getting these deals. So it's like, in the South, you ain't got no, if you ain't got those resources, you got to go out there and you got to, hit it however you want to hit it. So it's like, My biggest problem with it is, y'all got a whole bunch of remixes y'all can do with just, I'm talking about the remix catalog is insane. Like, y'all go back and pick up some of them legends that y'all still got that's still living that, go back and redo their songs, like, and get up off the drill music because I just feel like right now drill music is what's popping right now, but it's gonna be just like crunk music, it's gonna have its thing, but then after that it's gonna be gone. You ain't gonna hear about it. Just like snap music, it had its time, but then it's gone. And I feel like if you go back to the essence of what rap is and the essence of what hip hop is, then you can understand that if you see what the South do, most of our Southern artists, we always go back to our OGs and we gonna remake their songs. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna remake that. Just like right now, music is in Memphis because a lot of the 3-6, Project Pat, etc. stuff been picked up. So you know, even when you get down here to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? We always remix things that was our way or did music in our own way, but it came from the outs to our older generations. And that's what I want to see New York do. I want to see New York go back and pick up them old gems that y'all got laying down there, man. Y'all, and then your disrespect for the OGs that's been in the game for decades and decades, y'all ain't really bigging them up. Like if you see that your OG down, go throw him a bone. You know what I'm talking about? He need that song remixed. Cause if he get that song remixed, that can give him his second win. And hell, who knows in this game, anybody can make a hit record at any given point in time. So it's like if you was to actually go back and pick up some of that what's been lacking, I believe that New York probably could have another time where they reign supreme. But I'm still rooting for Atlanta to bring it on back here. We just got a lot of stuff going on right now with the Young Thug and the Lucci. I think that was like a big stab wound to the side of hip hop, and rap in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Lil Baby, he doing his thing, but you know, we always had a coach to it was never just one man. You know what I'm saying? We always had that one man that was coming up, and we got the man that's on top right now. So he always kind of like had something to where he's looking out, showing him the blueprint on where he got it, and that's how we became kings for us as long as we did. And I think that promotion wise, Atlanta ain't promoted no other artist that can come up under that realm, like almost like I would like to see Young Noonan do his thing because he of that cloth and he of that character. You know what I'm saying? And 21 Savage, I believe right now that him and Baby right now like number one. You know what I'm saying? Because of the Drake thing, but a lot of people sleep on 21 and don't understand that 21 can stand by himself. He really don't need nobody. Like real talk, that man right there, he can do things by himself and he don't need nobody to hop on the track with him or whatever. Because like I say, a lot of people forgot what he did to J. Cole on J. Cole's album. But on that track, he ate J. Cole's up. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You know what I'm talking about? My life, if that's what y'all want to know, what track I'm talking about with him and Moret. It's about to come. It's about to get interesting. I got a show I can't tell y'all that's coming up on this. We're gonna rename the whole podcast and everything else, and then you'll understand it then why I'm talking like this. But these are just the things that I'm gonna be talking about on my own podcast, and then it's gonna get real interesting with everyday people, everyday Southern people. You know what I'm saying? I haven't got to the point where I can have celebrities and things of that nature, but just know this: I know my music. Oh yeah, I know my music. I'm real versed in music. I love music, and I think some of the creators don't get their props, so we're gonna be trying to give those creators, their props, just for instance, just for hypothetically, just for just an example, like I feel like in hip hop, James Brown don't get his just due. And I'm from the hometown of James Brown, but I feel like he don't get his just due because if you take James Brown out of hip hop, it's no hip hop. First break beats was James Brown. You know what I'm talking about? First rapping came out of James Brown mouth. You know what I'm saying? Far as going gold, King Heroin. If you go back and listen to King Heroin, you'll see something. And also, the Big Payback, where he actually say he was doing rapping. And my hat's off to Kendrick, because Kendrick, the only artist out of the whole scene that actually, touched on that when he did King Kunta. You know what I'm talking about? If you listen to King Kunta, that is a James Brown track. And to this day, year to date, every year, everybody always samples something from James Brown. It's from present to the past, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm pretty sure he gonna have 3 or 4 samples this year the same way. And I don't see nobody else in music that ever did that. Like, who else catalog stayed alive to where it's alive in the 70s all the way to year 2023? You know what I'm talking about? That every year you're guaranteed out of your catalog to have 3 to 4 songs that actually go big, to go, actually go gold in some kind of capacity. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got nobody else music catalog that's doing that I know of. And the closest thing to it is Isaac Hayes. And like I say, he don't get his just due for what he did. And he's also a person from the South. You know what I'm saying? Far as with the music and the real instrumentation. And people always using his beats. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we gonna put a lot of light on a lot of stuff that popular people that have been, overstanding or ain't been into it, But it is what it is. And on that note, I'm about to go and get to this Super Bowl thing, but I want to put out my first little podcast just to fill it out, see my scenery. Comment in the back, do you like the scenery, or I need to change it up, lighting or whatever. Which I do got some different things that I'm going to do to it. My studio ain't fully up yet. But it's a working order, you know what I'm saying? I'm an electrician, so, we're going to get a nice little lights dancing and all that other type of good stuff. But it going to take a little time because, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no sponsors or nothing, but we be looking for some, so. But anyway, on that note, we about this bit. Mind over matter. J Prince, shut your mouth. Y'all give y'all elders, they just do because they paid the roads for you. And if don't nobody say nothing and it won't never be said, and I was always taught uncontested lie becomes the truth. So, when people tell you this is the first place and this and that and that and this, always look down into your history, you know what I'm saying? And you'll find out, like, a lot of that is fake, not fact. You know what I'm saying? And also, just an alley-oop to the Yankees up top. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could say it was the first MCs because the MCs goes way back, far back into the 1920s. Tell you the first MC. First MC was Cab Calloway. Don't nobody say that though. You know what I'm saying? Cab Calloway, Cotton Club. First MC. Call and response. Hide, hold it. Minute and mucho. First time where the artist say something and then he gives the crowd to say something back to him and then he brings it back, which is an MC. Because an MC is call and response. Understand that. So your first MC is a call and response thing, which means you have to call, have to respond. Just that simple. But on that right now, that concludes this episode of Mind Over Matter, track for track. We coming to see you. Holla back.